did well with the weather. Yeah, so firstly, I'd just like everybody to raise your hands and give a massive round of applause for Kate and a little bit Andy for putting on such an amazing wedding. And don't they look absolutely amazing? Oh my goodness. All right, we're just going to get straight into it. Absolutely. Family and friends, on behalf of Kate and Andrew, I'd like to welcome you all. I feel privileged to be given the opportunity to officiate this marriage to these two beautiful souls. Now I'd like to invite Donna up to the front, up to the arbour for a reading.
Hi everyone. I'm just going to read from 1 Corinthians 13, 4 to 8. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud, it is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. I'd just like to say a prayer. Lord, thank you for Kate and Andrew and for their love for each other. We ask that you bless and guide them, and their love for each other will always remain strong, and that your love will bind them together. Thank you for their families and friends here today, and we uphold their marriage to you and ask that Kate and Andrew remain firm to their commitment. In Jesus' name, amen.
Less than impressed when Andrew clumsily smashed a six-pack while trying to load his ute. Little did they know back then, the universe had other plans for them and actually brought them together, as they were indeed a perfect match. And by universe, I mean Keith, Kate's brother-in-law. He'd probably like the sound of that, wouldn't he? Yeah. Bet. But they were slow on the uptake and didn't actually start talking and dating till about 5 years later. Am I right? Something like that. Okay. Kate and Andy are passionate and hard-working pair who understands a relationship will only work if there's communication and patience. They are so thrilled to be starting their new adventure as husband and wife. Get used to those words. And I'm just going to crack straight into the official section of the ceremony. I, Nicola Meal, am duly authorised by law according to marriages according to law. Before you're joined in marriage, in my presence, in the presence of these witnesses, I'm to remind you of the solemn and binding nature of the relationship into which you are now about to enter. Marriage according to law in Australia is the union of two people to the exclusion of all others voluntarily entered into for life. And you guys look pretty happy, so it must be voluntary. So, I'm going to ask you both a question, and it'd be great if you answered me if I do or I will. No hesitations, no doubts, right? Okay. All right, we'll start with you, Andy. You look the most hesitant. Yeah? Yeah. So, will you, Andrew, take Kate to be your lawful wife? Hold on. Will you love her, comfort her, honour and respect her throughout your life together?
I do.
Excellent. Straight in. Will you, Kate, take Andrew to be your lawful husband? Will you love him, comfort him, honour and respect him throughout your life together?
I do.
Perfect. That's what we like to hear. Yep, and then you can tick that off your list. So, Andrew. I'm just going to repeat it. Just repeat that. I call upon the persons
I call upon the persons
here present
here present
to witness that I,
to witness that I,
Andrew Graham Dunford,
Andrew Graham Dunford,
take thee,
take thee,
Kate Marie Alaprandy,
Kate Marie Alaprandy,
to be my lawful wedded wife.
to be my lawful wedded wife.
Pretty good. Alright, ready? You to follow that.
Yeah.
Okay. I call upon the persons
I call upon the persons
here present
here present
to witness that I,
to witness that I,
Kate Marie Alacrandi,
Kate Marie Alacrandi,
take thee,
take thee,
Andrew Graham Dunford,
Andrew Graham Dunford,
to be my lawful wedded husband.
to be my lawful wedded husband.
Perfect. Okay, so Kate and Andrew would now like to declare their love in their own words. Jacob. He's got a lot of jobs, this guy. All right, so now I will ask who would like to go first, because this is the real test. She does public speaking for a living. I'll go first. All right, there you go, sweetheart. Take it away. Do you want me to hold the mic, or do you have it hold it? You give it a go. Put it on you.
Andrew, although I feel like I've been waiting for this day for so long, our time together so far has absolutely flown by. You've introduced me to so much already. You even had me camping with you 6 months into our relationship when I had never camped before. Notice that I just mentioned we went and camped, not that I actually enjoyed it. You've changed my way of thinking and have made me into a better person. Who would have thought the young boy that I had met 10 years ago would change my life so much? We are both fiercely independent people that can and have accomplished so much on our own, but we are so much better together, and together we are unstoppable. Everyone says that marriage isn't easy. With this in mind, I will make some promises to you. I promise to love you even when you accidentally leave your clothes in the washing machine and dryer for days on end. I promise to love you when you leave coffee splashed on the kitchen bench after you rush off to work each morning. I promise to love you when you leave the bathroom floor soaking wet. I take your flaws and realise that it's just a small part of who you are, and I hope you do the same with me. I wish you luck on your lifelong adventure of reminding me of simple, everyday conversations that we've had due to my bad memory and having to repeat yourself 1,000 times. I get to be your Dory forever now. I am so excited that I get to continue laughing at your jokes every single day. I can't wait to see the life that we continue to make for ourselves together and what the future holds. I love you.
Good luck, buddy.
Okay. We had known each other a few years before we started talking. As soon as we begun talking, we didn't stop. It was at this point I knew it was something different. We have experienced a lot together and have a lot to look forward to. I'm looking forward to exploring new places with you. I can promise that as we explore and walk together, I'll always wait for you as your daughter behind me. From this point on, I promise to take over your father's role of embarrassing you whenever possible. I cannot promise that I'll always listen to you. Although we are getting married, my ears are sold separately. As we know you have a terrible memory, here is a copy of my vows so that you don't forget.
As a sign
As a sign
that I choose you
that I choose you
as my partner and best friend.
as my partner and best friend.
Okay, you two. You've made your promises to share your lives in accordance with your vows. It is with my very great pleasure to now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your beautiful bride. Kate and Andrew, now that you've made your vows today, you've exchanged rings surrounded by your wonderful family and supportive friends who share in the joy of your marriage. Celebrate your union while maintaining your sense of freedom and individuality. Uphold and affirm the other. Nurture your marriage, your love and your friendship, because the best is yet to come. I would like to be the first to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Andrew and Kate Dunford.
Anywhere you thought you'd find
Slightly longer kicks.
Alright, you can all follow them out now.
Tonight is set to be a fun and memorable time, but before we start the celebrations, we've got a few housekeeping things we need to go over. It seems everyone's already found the bar. The toilet's obviously located just around the corner as well. The bar's serving a selection of beer, wine and soft drinks, plus a few other non-alcoholic options to you at no cost. However, the bar is fully serviced and spirits are available, you just need to pay for them. Over there we have the wishing well, but if you didn't bring cash, my pay ID 0421 195 679. Another couple of quick things. Last drinks will be at 10 p.m. and tonight's celebration will wrap up at 10:30 sharp. So please consider how you guys are making your way back to your accommodation if you haven't already. I'd also like to thank the photographer Heath, videographer Chris, and tonight's DJ George, and of course Rafferty's Resort. Now, it's time to turn our attention to the bridal party who don't seem to be here. Making their way in slowly. So, we have Jade, Kate's sister and bridesmaid, and Banner, Andy's boyfriend. Oh, sorry, best friend. And now, for the main event, the reason we're all here tonight, I would like you to be upstanding, raise a glass, grab a napkin and wave it around, and make lots of noise for the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Dunford. You can sit.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'd like to start off with a huge congratulations to Kate and Andy. Tonight we're here to celebrate you both and the love you both have for each other. Whether you met Andy at one of the 73 workplaces he has been at, or known Kate since she was a child, it's fair to say that these are two of the most genuine, honest and caring people you know. My name's Joel, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm Andy's older and questionably wiser brother. Andy and Kate asked both myself and Justin to MC tonight, and we're both very grateful for being given the opportunity. Thank you. Andy and Kate, tonight's your night. Make the most of every moment. Listen closely to every word. Burn through your shoes on the dance floor. Andy, no jumping off high points such as roofs. You are both a great example of true love, and this reflects to the people around you. I'm sure I speak for everyone here when I say that we are excited to be here to celebrate you tonight. Now we're about to get started with the meals this evening. We have a lovely entree coming up, and then Justin will see us into a couple of speeches. So everybody, get into it.
Kate, being a rebellious teenager and getting instructions how to turn a dishwasher on the first time her parents are brave enough to leave the house, to seeing them turn into such a beautiful married couple, achieving so much together at such a young age, is unbelievable. But we'll save the embarrassing stories for the speeches. It's the bridesmaid and best man for now, and the parents will be speaking later on. So, Jade, if you're ready, I'll hand over to you.
Hello everyone. As most of you probably know by now, my name is Jade and I'm Kate's sister and matron of honour. great to see you all here today. I know how much it means to Kate and Andy. Sorry, that's just my daughter. It only feels like yesterday that Kate and I were playing schools, jumping our scooters like they were horses, and pretending our bedrooms were our own little apartments. We always talk about our childhood and how lucky we were to have what we had. We never went without, and we're privileged to be given many amazing core memories. I'm not going to look at you because I'm going to cry. Really lucky to be given so many amazing core memories, like our family holidays where we pretended to be travel agents, or taking our soft toys around in our go-kart with a trailer attachment that Dad had built for us. Or our many trips to Wonderland, especially when we had a day of school just so we could avoid the lines. Kate made doubly sure not to go without when she raided the pantry one last time on the day she moved out of home, carting several packets of chips out to her car. It feels surreal to be here today on Kate and Andy's wedding day. We've all heard the saying love at first sight, but I don't think that can be said in this case. They first met at our parents' house when my husband Keith brought Andy around for some beers. It was at this moment I can say Kate and Andy did not lock eyes and feel butterflies. On arrival, Andy attempted to pull a beer out of a six-pack, but instead dropped and broke two. Kate was less than impressed with this and whispered to Mum, "What a dickhead." I'm glad to see that opinion no longer stands, I assume. I've known Andy for over 10 years now, and for those that don't know, when my husband Keith and Andy met at work when Andy began as an apprentice. Keith took him under his wing by bringing him to all of our parties. I will never forget the day of Keith's 21st party. Andy had arranged to stay at our mate Justin, who you just met, stay at his house in Riverston. Well, it didn't pan out too well when Justin went MIA and Andy took it upon himself to get home, even though he was not very familiar with the area. Keith and I were in another friend's car coming down the main street in Riverston about 3 a.m. when from a distance Keith spotted Andy. He knew it was him because of how quickly he was walking and his long hair. We pulled over in this very small styler car with 4 of us already in there. Andy did not hesitate at jumping in the middle. In fact, he dove head first. I've never seen him look so terrified. Anyone would think he was walking through the ghetto. And I've never lost that image in my mind. I see it every day. When I first heard the news that these two had gotten together, I was shocked to say the least. Not just because last I knew Kate thought he was a dickhead, but because I would never have guessed it. It was an unlikely pairing. I found out in an unusual way through the grapevine. I was out camping with friends and I knew Kate had gone away for the weekend. When I was chatting at camp, someone mentioned Andy had gone away too. When they mentioned where, a light bulb went off. I don't think my jaw left the floor for several hours after that. The relationship was an unlikely pairing because Kate just loved being at home in her PJs, watching TV, reading, or hanging out with her amazing big sister. If you went into Kate's room, you would find a single plastic sleeve with a piece of paper outlining the TV show she was going to watch that day. Whereas Andy is quite the outdoorsman and loves exploring and camping. He doesn't bat an eyelid at stirring his dinner with a screwdriver or casually losing parts of his car and driving off without them. He didn't watch much TV growing up. I mean, he had never seen The Simpsons. Kate's jaw dropped when he first revealed that. They've rubbed off on each other though. Kate has gone on many camping adventures now, even to Cape York. I was very surprised at that one. I remember her first camping trip, which was on the beach with us. She was standing in the pitch black brushing her teeth, never been camping before, exclaiming, "Look at me! Look where I am!" And, well, Andy doesn't mind unwinding with a bit of TV now. He was mostly recently very excited by the Taylor Swift documentary. In the past year, I've loved seeing Kate flourish being an auntie for the first time to my beautiful daughter, Ivy, who's just yelling at the moment. I would say she has been waiting for a long time for this moment. In fact, she got extremely excited 5 years too early when I asked her to be my maid of honour. I put a balloon filled with blue confetti, her favourite colour, in a box. The idea was that she would pop the balloon and then I would say, "Now it's my turn to ask you a question." Well, it backfired, And the moment the balloon came floating out of the box, Kate screamed a bunch of words that are a little too colourful to repeat here, and then asked if I was pregnant. I had to let her down gently. It's safe to say she was on high alert ever since. Now, while love at first sight can't be said for these two, another saying can. Opposites attract. Each of them offer different qualities, which has ultimately led to their healthy and balanced relationship. Having known Kate and Andy separately and now together, I can truly say they've built a beautiful, solid foundation for a wonderful future together. They've shared their best assets with each other to become their best selves. They're the perfect team, and I have no doubt they'll live a long and happy life together. A few words of wisdom before I wrap up. Things I like to live by include never going to bed angry, communicating clearly and often, and each marriage is unique, so you do you. Andy, I hope you remember the 3 most important words. Please, thank you, and sorry. One last thing. Kate, can you please put your hand on the table? Andy, can you please put your hand on top of Kate's? Okay, that's good. Now, this is the last time you'll have the upper hand. Please join me in raising your glass to toast to this beautiful couple. Andy, I hope you love growing old with her as much as I love growing up with her. Thank you.
Good evening, family and friends. I'm very happy to preside over a couple of minutes of the day that Kate didn't plan. For those of you that don't know, my name is Jake, aka Banner. I'm very honoured to be Andy's best man today. I remember the first time I met Andy back when we were 17. I remember thinking, who is this guy with long hair and his yellow falcon? But little did I know that was going to turn into a friend that was always there for me. And yeah, over the years we've had many wild camping trips, even had Joel come and rescue us one time. And working on cars and shared many beers together, I wouldn't change it for anything. It really has been a pleasure being your friend, Andy. Speaking of cars, I never thought I'd see a day that Andy could love something more than his Fords, but then he met Kate. If anyone knows Andy, they'll know he's a hard worker. I'm sure this will carry into his marriage, and I think Kate is lucky to have Andy as a husband. And Kate, I've always enjoyed getting to know you, and more over the years, and filling you in on the latest gossip of my life. And you've always been someone that I've enjoyed talking to and getting a different aspect on life with. You really do look beautiful today, Kate. I remember when Andy first liked Kate and we were having a few beers at his parents' place, and he was telling me all about her, and I remember thinking, Kate really is a perfect match for Andy. They're so similar, and I kind of had a feeling this was going to be the one for him. And look, today now they're both married, and I couldn't be happier for them both. So yeah, if we can make a toast to Andy and Kate Dunford. Yeah. We're special night. Thank you.
Thank you, Jade and Banner, those speeches, they were great. Alright, jumping into the next part of the evening, I would like to do a crowd participation activity. Now we're going to play a game and it's quite simple, and it's going to help us find out who knows a few little secrets about the newlyweds. The prize for the winner, or winners, will be 12 months worth of car servicing provided by Andy free of charge. Please note terms and conditions apply. Now I'm going to ask a few questions about Andy and Kate. If you think the answer is Andy, you raise your hand. If you think the answer is Kate, you put your hands on your head. If you get the answer wrong, sit down. So, if everyone, please stand up. You two get to sit down because you know the answers. So, the answer for Andy would be hands up, hands on head for Kate. Who looks for koalas up palm trees? It's Kate. On holidays, Kate was told there could be koalas in the park next door. She then proceeded to look up a palm tree for a koala until Andy pointed out koalas don't eat coconuts. Now, who cooks garlic in the microwave? Is it Andy or Kate? That's right, it's Andy. Now, just after Kate and Andy moved in together, Andy had an attempt at cooking dinner. and got in a fair bit of trouble off Kate for trying to cook chopped garlic in the microwave. Who has run out of fuel in their car before? Is it Andy or Kate? It's Andy. Andy purchased a car from Melbourne. He towed it back. Well, then the tow car ran out of fuel. So we had to take the car off the trailer, drive it up to the service station, get petrol, drive it back to diesel, drive it back to the Land Cruiser and fill it up. Now, who is afraid of scary movies and hides under the blankets? Is it Andy or Kate? It's Andy. You got a few people that you're doing services on. Alright, now for the last one. Who can juggle? Is it Andy or Kate? It's Kate. Now, Kate, I've got a couple of balls here. No, I don't. And that's it. So, you've got a fair bit of servicing to do to people.
Alright, well, got everyone's attention now. We're up the father's speeches. We're starting with Davo. He goes a bit off script, so bear with him. And ran into him in the bathroom, and he's a bit worried about the wrath of Kate, but he's an animal on the dance floor, so make sure you look for him after this. So off you go, Davo. Give it your best.
Thanks, Justin, for that intro. Given it's my last Father of the Bride speech, it's a little bit sad in a way. I'll stick to the script tonight. Who said that? I'd like to thank everyone for coming today to celebrate one of the biggest days of Kate and Andy's lives. You must all agree the bride looks stunning today, as does her matron of honour and the groom, cleaned up nicely as did his best man. Well, this day has been 5 years and a little bit in the making. Kate, I would like to also add how proud your mother and I are of you and how special it was to walk you down the aisle today. You look beautiful. Still do. Our little girl is all grown up now and we're both very happy she's found a kind, sensible, caring and happy man in Andy. We've seen Kate and Andy both grow together during the past 5 years and they've already achieved a lot at such a young age through hard work, determination and perseverance. As Andy has found, Kate is a very determined, practical and conscientious lady with a strong work ethic, setting her own goals and achieving them from a young age. She's been a thinker and planner since she was at least 15. We have since come to learn Andy is exactly the same. Kate started working as a casual at Macca's as soon as she was old enough. One of her first financial goals way back then was to own a car by the time she got her licence. She worked hard, saved hard and bought her first car before she turned 17. Being a practical person, she drove that same car for the next 9 or so years. At age 20, Kate decided she wanted to buy a house. She was still at uni and working part-time at IKEA. She achieved that goal just before turning 21 and never once needed our help financially, which we found amazing. Kate had no interest in going to university, preferring instead to get a HSC and then work full-time. 6 months later, Kate decided she wanted to become a teacher, which resulted in her again working hard and excelling at her studies to gain a double degree. We have often joked with her since, "Kate, "Who are you and what have you done with our daughter?" A reference to the Kate who had no interest in going to uni and was a bit of a rebel in her early teen years. It turns out Kate was born to teach, having gone from strength to strength in her career, willing to take on additional responsibilities outside the classroom. Whilst Kate and Andy are individuals, both fiercely independent, which at times might cause them to drive each other a little crazy, they share some key personality traits and life experiences in common. The story I just shared with a few examples about Kate's achievements is very similar in many ways to Andy's. Since meeting Andy, we have found him to be a sensible, level-headed, independent young man with a very wise head on young shoulders. Ironically, the very same character traits he shares with his new wife. Andy's always willing to help. For example, coming out in the pouring rain a few years ago to help me with a massive drainage problem without being asked to. It's often hard to keep up with Andy's thinking. He seems to always be at least 2 steps ahead. I know who that is. Andy knew moving in with Kate meant the deal came with 2 cats, and growing up with dogs there was none too keen, and his rule was no cats on the bed. How times have changed. Now he makes a spot on the bed for the other male in the home, Toby. Andy has patiently encouraged Kate over time to come to love the great outdoors as much as he does. Kate patiently endured living for 2 years in a home that was constantly under renovation. Andy worked very hard on the reno, with Kate at times jumping in herself with some of the demo, prep and painting. We can see the best of you has already rubbed off on the other, and how well you work together as a team. We see how you have developed a mutual respect for each other, not always agreeing but compromising, a key ingredient to a successful marriage. We wish you both a long, happy, healthy and successful life together. Both Kate and Andy have a great sense of humour, which will no doubt help them during the marriage. You need a good sense of humour sometimes, as you both already know. Remember, Andy, happy wife, happy wife, happy life. I got it right. I also wanted to share a few things to keep in mind as you navigate married life together. No one is perfect, and it's about accepting someone for who they are, not for who you want them to be. So always be positive, and remember you fell in love with each other for the characteristics you liked, not those you didn't. No one is perfect, but you can be a perfect match for each other. A successful marriage is not sharing your life with the person you can live with, but sharing your life with the person you can't live without. Please raise your glasses for a toast to the happy couple. To Kate and Andy, here's to the past for all you have learned, to the present for all that you share, and to the future for all your hopes and dreams.
Thanks, David. That was beautiful. I'm going to hear from Andy's dad now, Graham. That's where he gets his quiet demeanour from, so good luck, Graham.
That sounds pretty ominous. Sorry. All right, hello everyone. As a father of the groom, it's truly an honour to stand before you on this occasion. What a beautiful ceremony we got to witness today. What a sensational sunny day. Tonight we gather to celebrate the union of Andrew and Kate. I remember the day that Andrew was born, the love and joy when I saw him. He was a cute little fella. He was never little. Watching Andrew grow into the amazing man he is today has been a blessing. And now, as I see Andrew here, ready to start this new chapter in life, my heart is filled with pride and happiness. Donna and I actually remember the beginning of Andrew and Kate's relationship. It was their first date. And earlier today, Andrew and Kate were a little bit coy about the actual date, but it was the 13th of October 2019.
April.
Sorry. I got that. I can't even read. 13th of April 2019. Andrew was working on his car. He was hurrying. Unusual. He cut his hand and needed some stitches. Donna took him to the medical centre. Whilst he was there, Andrew was unhappy because they couldn't drop everything and stitch him up straight away. After all, he had a date to go on that night. He had his first date with Kate. He was prepared to go home without any stitches, so he could actually get to the date on time. Anyway, the stitches were finally done, and the date with Kate went well, apparently. Fast forward a few months, Andrew was planning a forward driving camping trip with Kate. Donna and I realised that Andrew had found the one. When Andrew was telling us about all the changes he was making to his setup to help make the camp trip an enjoyable experience for Kate. He was prepared to completely change the way he did things to make Kate comfortable. And we learnt today he didn't even like it. He wanted so much for Kate to enjoy his passion of forward driving and camping. Since then, we've got to know you, Kate. Your humour, your passion, what drives you crazy, what makes you laugh. We've learned all the many goals and ambitions that you share together, and you actually bring out the best in Andrew. To my son and his beautiful bride, Kate, I want to say love is a journey, and today you embark on this journey together as husband and wife. May your love be like a shining beacon, guiding you through the ups and downs of life. Even when Andrew has filthy, dirty, greasy, oily hands. And Kate has misplaced the King Doona or forgotten something you've said. Cherish each other, support each other, and always remember the love that brought you together. It's my hope that God blesses your marriage and that you have a marriage filled with laughter, understanding, and unwavering love. May you realise all of your hopes and dreams together. To the newlyweds, I raise my glass and offer a toast to a lifetime of happiness, love, and endless marriage. Cheers to the bride and groom.
Now we're going to hear from the bride and the groom. From this day forward, the bride will be speaking on the groom's behalf, so we won't be hearing from Andy.
Oh, he's actually standing up with me. We would like to thank everyone for coming and celebrating tonight with us. We've had some people come from interstate, and my auntie Jenny has made the trip all the way from England, so we thank you very much for being here. We have a few more people we would like to thank. My uncle Chris for recording all of our big moments today. Both of our families for your ongoing support. Jade and Jake for accepting to be in our wedding party and for always being there for us. Joel and Justin for accepting their MC roles and doing such a great job with it. And finally, our vendors, Heath, our photographer, George, our DJ, and Brittany, our wedding coordinator, for ensuring our day runs so smoothly. I'd just like to say thank you to my husband for having an open mind for our wedding day. For those of you who do not know, we originally spoke about having a very tiny wedding where it was just going to be our immediate family. After some persistent nagging, I was able to slowly wear him down, and he agreed to having a bigger wedding, although I'm sure a lot of you would still consider this to be quite small. I remember during our wedding planning process, Andy once said, "Whatever you'd like to do." I'm sure he was regretting that today when he was standing up there in front of everybody. We wanted to let you know that we won't be having a first dance tonight. So once the music starts, please feel free to join us on the dance floor straight away. And we're so excited that this day is finally here and that we've achieved this milestone together. I'm even more excited for our future together. So thank you once again for coming.